I could be wrong here, but I feel like the Arizona Cardinals are one wide receiver away from being truly detrimental. And what do I mean by detrimental? Well, let's look at it from this perspective. The Vikings have two 1A and 1A receivers when you think about Adam Thielen and almost said Stephon Diggs there. I'm so sorry. No, it's not Justin Jefferson. Oh, I'm sorry. That was bad. But you were so used to saying Stephon Diggs for years. Justin Jefferson. Sorry. The Vikings have two wide receivers, and it's so fun for me as a Vikings fan to watch NFL teams, or defenses rather, have to defend those two 1A and 1A wide receivers. So Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, it's kind of pick your poison, and plus try to stop Dalvin Cook if you can. So as a Vikings fan, I can tell you that watching a NFL defenses struggle to guard either one of them, it's so fun for me. It's just, I know either one of them is going to go off that game just because defense is going to pay attention to the other one. So what if the Cardinals went out and signed Antonio Brown? Okay, give me a second to explain. First of all, I'm going to address some of the concerns and hate that I'm already going to get with this. Number one, he's old, or old for NFL years. First of all, no, he's not. Okay, Antonio Brown right now is only 32 years old, young rather, and turns 33 on July 10th. So he's going to turn 33 before the season starts. Totally understand. However, here's the thing. Do we forget that this man was out of football for a little bit? We're not going to go into why, because we all know the whole Antonio Brown saga. We would be here for a little bit. But the point is, only 33 years old going into the season, was out of football for a little bit. Technically, more so in the 29th season, he only really played in one game for the Patriots. But here's the thing. Antonio Brown, with taking that year off and then finally coming back for the Buccaneers and winning a Super Bowl, by the way, and doing a fine job of being that a great, I wouldn't say necessarily breakout player, but he definitely kind of helped himself out here. So why should the Cardinals sign a guy that's a little up there in age, probably is a better way of saying it, and also has had some issues with, off the field issues, rather. Here's why. Antonio Brown caught 45 passes last year, scored a couple of touchdowns, and if you ask me, I think there is far worse options out there. He only signed a one-year deal last year with the Buccaneers. It was for $1.6 million. So he's going to be, I still think, even though he had a better season, he's going to be relatively cheap. So there's a lot to consider there. Once again, caught 45 passes for 483 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, again, a player that is still capable of bringing it and just absolutely balling. So let's take something into consideration here, okay? That was him having to learn the playbook, him coming into a new scheme, not getting the ball as much as he should because he's Antonio Brown. Because when he was back at 100%, we're talking about a guy that had 6 straight years of over 100 catches and over 1,000 yards. And in that stretch, that 6-year stretch from 2013 all the way down till 2018, I mean, he didn't score below 8 touchdowns. That's fantastic numbers. So let's consider this. He only played in 8 games this last year. Caught 45 passes, okay? So I never was a mathematician. Let's make that abundantly clear right now. Never was a mathematician. But if you take 45 times 2, because 16 divided by 2, he only played half a season. So if he plays a full season, we're looking at roughly 90 catches-ish, give or take. You're also looking at over 1,000 yards, about 1,000 yards receiving. I shouldn't say it exactly, but you are looking at 1,000 yards receiving. I'm sorry. See, not a mathematician. There it goes. That's the full cat's out of the bag there. So we're talking about a guy that with 966. Okay, I'm sorry, 966 yards. It's close enough at this point. Point is, you're talking about a guy 90 catches, 966 yards, and 8 touchdowns. At 32 years old, if we're talking about trends or anything here, and not to mention the fact the impact that he had in the Super Bowl. I mean that slant route he had on Tyrann Mathieu, thing of beauty. So why should the Cardinals go out and draft him? Well, let's look at it this way. They've already got a star wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. Larry Fitzgerald, much love for Larry Fitzgerald, who's probably on his way out, unfortunately. But the next leading receiver behind Larry Fitzgerald was Chase Edmonds, backup running back, really, 53 catches for over 400 yards. And then Christian Kirk, who I think had a great year, but I don't think he's necessarily a number 2. I think he's better suited as a number 3 if Antonio Brown, A, comes in cheap, and B, he has the same attitude that he does now, staying out of trouble, doing his thing. And when he's like that, he's a dangerous player. So Christian Kirk, Like I said, I think he's still best suited out as a number 3. Don't think he's that number 2 guy at this point. But at the end of the day, I think it would be foolish for the Cardinals not to go and get a second wide receiver. They just got J.J. Watt. We already talked about their defense that's up and coming. Kyler Murray's looking like a fantastic quarterback, a young quarterback. And this defense and really rather team is coming together at the right time. So this would be the perfect time to go out and get a second weapon on the outside like Antonio Brown, give your offense another toy to play with, and really honestly just go out there and take care of business. He's only 33 once again. I know people are going to say it's old. I don't care. A guy that was 32 last year almost, if he would have played a full season, probably would have had 1,000 receiving yards. Let's be real. If he was used to the capacity he should have been used. So at the end of the day, Antonio Brown should get an opportunity, and I think it should be with the Cardinals. They've got too many weapons on offense and defense. They're up and coming. It really makes too much sense for me. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. But let me know what you think. Antonio Brown to the Cardinals? Makes a lot of sense if you ask me, especially if he comes in for the right price. So I definitely think he would make a lot of sense and really bring a lot to that team that's already pretty stacked. So once again, make sure you guys follow us on all social media. Be sure to take it easy. Check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. And take it easy and have a great rest of your night.